Hey everybody, Sarah Grillo here. So I'm on vacation this week, but I just wanted to take a minute and respond to a question on my channel. I apologize in advance for my bad speaking. I'm out of breath all the time. I'm about 8 months pregnant at this point. Sorry. And, very uncomfortable, but I'm just doing my best to help out people despite not being able to really speak that well. So this is from Noah on my channel. I'm Series 7 and 66 licensed. I was essentially an administrative assistant for a financial advisor and paid for the licenses myself, even though he sponsored me. Yeah, that's what happens, especially a lot with those wirehouses. Very tough. That's a tough thing to do. But good for you that you got your licenses. I am now a retail banker with JPM Chase, which requires just the 6 and 63. I live in Texas and not trying to pursue a career on Wall Street, but I'm interested in understanding how the Series 7 could help me advance. Within the scope of industries like JPM, it seems like all the Series 7 jobs are either financial advisor or some kind of assistant to the financial advisor. What other Series 7 positions are there in financial services? Thank you for your insight. Okay, so my understanding is that Series 7 is basically for client-facing front office, sales, client relationship positions, or people who support those. So financial advisor would be one of them. I believe that a relationship manager that has responsibility for opening and closing accounts and making transactions, I believe that person, I think in order for you to get paid, now I'm not a lawyer, I have been Series 7 licensed in the past, which is where this knowledge comes from. My understanding is that anybody that handles securities and money and does transactions has to be licensed, and also anybody who gets paid a commission for those transactions would have to be licensed as well. So that could span the gamut of financial advisor assistant, a person who, anybody involved with the sales function at any kind of a registered broker-dealer firm. People that process transactions at these firms also, I believe, have to become licensed with the Series 7. I believe, it's my understanding, that people that conduct research, research analysts, don't necessarily need to do that unless they are research analysts issuing research that they are paid for producing, in which case I believe they have to have the 7 as a gateway to getting another securities license, the I don't know, maybe like 68 or 86, I believe, or something like that. It's one of the higher ones. So for example, if you're in sell-side research, I believe from when I was at Lehman, I had to do this. I had my Series 7, then I had to get the 86. So all of that is just kind of like general securities licensing information. But what I can just tell you is basically, if you're involved with brokerage, either in a sales or relationship management transaction capacity, you're going to have the Series 7. Now, do you want those jobs? Those are basically, I think any way you slice it, going to come down to, in order for you to keep your Series 7 license, I believe that you would have to generate a certain amount of commissions per year. I think that it varies from firm to firm, but from what I've seen, it's probably about maybe $10,000 in commissions per year. Well, it was that for one of the firms that I once worked for. So that's what I'm saying. It's not, I don't believe, from my understanding, one of these designations that you could just have and not have revenue connected to it. I do believe that there's a certain amount of revenue that is associated with you having the Series 7, and if you're not producing or responsible for that amount of revenue, a certain amount, then I think the brokerage is basically going to yank your license. And because I think there's something with FINRA now where FINRA doesn't want people parking their licenses and just having the Series 7 to have it. because that happened a lot during the recession when people lost their jobs. They didn't want to lose their Series 7, so they went to all these brokers and they said, hey, look, can you, if I pay you a fee, can you just hold my license so I don't lose it and have to take the exam again? Okay, sorry, I have to take a break. Now, to address your question, what does that mean for you? It really depends on the career that you want to go in with the career direction that you want to go in, Noah. If you want to be one of these brokers, if you want to have a book of business and to build that over time, I mean, I'm a big fan of this kind of a thing because I love revenue center jobs as opposed to being a cost center, and I've been both in my life. So revenue center, somebody in sales or marketing that's responsible for driving leads and working them down the sales funnel and creating profit for the business. Cost center, somebody like an accountant or a research analyst. I've been that. And somebody that basically is responsible for doing the production work to produce the product. Lots of product people out there, and when there's a recession and there's duplication, guess what? The cost center jobs are the first ones to go. The other thing that you should know about cost center jobs is those are the hardest ones to get hired for. It's way easier to get hired for a client service or a sales position if you're good at what you do. And I mean, of course, but it's just generally easier. Those positions tend to open up a lot more. A position that's only a cost to the organization on the income statement is generally the last kind of positions that people fill. So I hope that guidance can help you. My advice to anybody that is going into financial services at this moment would be to really look at that, because you've got to keep in mind that this industry is slowly becoming more commoditized. It's slowly becoming more automated and more digitized. So what do I see in 10 to 15 years for the industry? I'm actually going to make a video about this. Maybe not today. But I think at some point I'm just going to discuss what I see as the long-term view for investment management. And what do I see? I see it slowly, very slowly, over the next 5 to 10 years becoming much more internet-based, much more internet-focused. I think that investment services are going to be delivered virtually. I think the days of the kind of brick and mortar, suspender, cigar smoking financial advisor is gonna really, I think those are kind of becoming extinct. So anyways, let me know if you have any further questions. I hope that this video is helpful. Sorry everybody, pregnancy makes your lungs like this big, because I don't know if there are any women watching this, to be honest with you. Most of my viewers, I believe, are male, but if you are women, if you know what I'm talking about, or if men have been through this, pregnancy, like your lungs and your stomach are like this big because there's a baby. Anyways, thanks everybody. Offer any comments if you want. Bye.